What's up? Welcome to another daily dose of crypto. I'm going to keep this one quick. We're going to talk about the bull case and the bear case for your majors and your alts. Let's get into it. So this is BTC and Ethereum. So over the last few hours we've had that dip we were concerned about having, and as you can see currently we are trading inside or trying to trade back outside of these gaps that were left. If you check my previous video you'll understand why that's important, to give us an indicator of are we bull or bear. So for our majors right now, all that matters is whether we continue to trade on ETH under 4,000 and for BTC if we're trading under 71,000. If we are, I'm leaning bearish. The bull case here is that both BTC and ETH make a new high. If that happens, I personally think it's far less likely at that point that we'll be taking the bearish route where we end up with that flush happening. Could be wrong, of course, but I think a new high on these coins would suggest that we're going to start putting in those big beefy gap candles. Again, check the previous video to understand that a little bit better if you're not sure what I mean. Let's move on. Okay, this is your others chart. So this is, like it says up here, this is all your cryptos excluding the top 10. So this is basically all the altcoins. As you can see, at the moment, the last time I gave you guys a 1 minute TA update, I spoke about the fact that if we broke this high again, it would signify that this was indeed just a shakeout and we'd expect continuation. And since that break, you can see that we've retested this level a few times and then basically we're moving on. Okay, so the bull case for others right now is that we make another high here, which it's threatening to do, and if that happens there is a bullish wave count that I would be tempted to use for the local price action. Basically that would be that from this low we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here a 5, and then this would be our 2. It's very small and sharp, but from the looks of how it is extremely small, so that's the one thing that sketches me out about it. However, it was deep enough. It took us to around the 0.5 as a retrace. There you go. But this area here is starting now to look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so this looks like another 1, 2, either to here or all of this section as a running flat. But we need to break this high again, which again is threatening to do. But if we break this high, the wave count to me here begins to look very bullish, either as a minimum, like this. So this would be our, there we go, the others breaking out. So that could this could either be a running flat, which would mean this is an A, B, and then we're going to do this. And then there's going to be a flush like this, but then continuation. Sorry about the dogs you can hear. I did tell you these crypto updates will be low budget. You're going to get weird noises and stuff in the background. Alternatively here, you could argue this is a 5-wave pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of it being an ABC. On these really small time frames, it's often hard to know, but it does actually look a lot more like a 5-wave pattern and then an ABC here. Again, so if this low is not broken, then the wave count has to be this, 1, 2, now we're building the next leg, and that's just going to continue. So the bull case here for altcoins is basically moon, that we're just already into moon phase, and worst case we kind of get this pattern here and continuation, or we're just going to keep gunning it. How does this make sense in terms of what we're expecting from BTC or ETH? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance to understand that. But the short story here with alts is that unless we start breaking down below these levels, I think you should keep holding your alts. You know, I generally think you should keep holding everything, because we don't know what the market's doing, and all we really know is that at some point it's very likely to keep going up. So it's easy to get shaken out at the moment and sidelined. And actually, if we just go over to the six guide chart, you can see that alts here have done a lot of wicking, but we're starting to see, say, FLM already made a new high after the dumping. BAT is thinking about it. We can come on to these in a separate video though, because I want to keep this one short. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, this chart has been pretty interesting for a long time. We had that sideways range for most of last couple of years, and then a big breakout, which has given us our start of our bull run. These arrows, apparently I had drawn these on here a long time ago, must have been back in end of last year kind of times, thinking about what's going to happen with Bitcoin. What we've seen is that we've had a breakout, and I think if you tried to count this, I would potentially argue that it ended here. Now that more is played out, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's either ended here or the fifth wave has become an extension, which to me, 1, 2. I kind of like that idea considering everything that's going on. So let's assume that it actually did indeed end here with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some kind of diagonal type ending here. That would mean that the reason we're getting all this up and down chop now is because Bitcoin dominance maybe has hit a current top, and that will mean now we're ready for Bitcoin dominance to break down and retest this whole sideways range that it went through. That would mean that basically these arrows I drew up ages ago would play out, and that will mean that we'll see Bitcoin dominance dropping now, and at some point there'll be another afterburner move from Bitcoin to take us up, let's assume for now, over 100k. But during this period of Bitcoin dominance sliding down, that is potentially where we're going to see this move, where Bitcoin continues to try and show people that it's got the gas, but it's not really got the gas, and we're going to see potentially some kind of down and sideways movement for a while, where money will hopefully continue to rush out into the others and maybe some of the major alts as well. Dominance will drop off at some point once alts have made another decent move here. That's where we look at this chart again and think, right, is Bitcoin ready for another big leg up? At that point, probably you want to consider getting back out of alts or reducing your sizes or whatever. Maybe they'll go sideways, maybe they'll drop. We don't know. It's going to be one or the other, sideways or down, because money will move back to Bitcoin once this setup on this chart is done. Invalidation on this for me right now is if Bitcoin dominance just starts making a new high. I suspect that would happen alongside a new high being put in on the USDT charts here on both of these. So now I think you know everything you need to know, for now at least, in terms of what I think the market is doing. I'm just going to pause and have a quick think about whether there's one last thing to mention. Hang on. Alright, I'm feeling like maybe that's all we need to know for now. If we take a look over at Profit Farmers, you can see the chop and drops we had yesterday gave a few stop losses. However, keep playing the game. If you look at ID here, this ID here has now already hit target 3. That's an 11-hour trade. Okay, so you see a few stop losses, but remember this one win here is worth 11 losses. And if we look at AMP, which was a trade that just closed yesterday as well, even though the market was dropping, this again was on the TR116 strategy, made it all the way to target 4. That's 17R. So this win here and this win here is worth 28 losses. So just keep that in mind. Like I keep saying, we're going to get some shakeouts and some difficult movements emotionally, but keep playing the game, keep aiming for those higher targets. You are going to get some losses, that's part of it. Remember, win rates in trading are a bit unusual and go against your human nature, but even with a win rate of say 30 or 40%, you're going to be profitable as long as you're bringing in say more than 3R on your trade, or more than 4R. And as you can see on these higher targets, 6R, 9R, 17R, that's the game we're playing. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up again because with the others chart being in the position I've just discussed, what can I say? Basically, there is a chance that all these altcoins are going to keep going. That's going to mean more signals show up. That's going to mean existing signals continue to get to those higher targets. So don't I think we are in a position where you shouldn't freak out about what Bitcoin and Ethereum are up to, because at least right now the altcoin charts look bullish, all right, in terms of the others, what I've discussed with you. Okay, hope this is really useful. I'll give some other updates. Think about what I've told you in terms of bull and bear cases. Remember where these invalidation points are, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, see you again. Bye.